So you've been an instructor in the Naval Special Warfare Training Detachment, the assault cell, as we said in your intro. So you were teaching guys CQC.
Yeah.
Is it a different guy in terms of like your makeup that is a like tactics instructor versus a BUDS instructor? I know the role is really different, but do these guys like switch? Like, were you ever a BUDS instructor? Like,
no, I would have liked to have been, because it's like you're almost like a mini god, out there. And
he just blatantly threw that. God sounds like a good
it's
position
like
for me.
whatever you tell them to do, they will do. Like, I mean, whatever. Yeah. The power is insane. But I always thought it would be. But what's funny though is like some BUDS instructors, like for certain guys in class periods that you went through, there's certain BUDS instructors. If it was my era guys, that if we all said his name, we'd be like, oh yeah, man, he was freaking evil. And then you end up seeing him. What's weird is like you'll run into a BUDS instructor, like you'll go to the platoon and like one of the guys will been a former BUDS instructor, where you'll run into him overseas, like whatever. And sometimes they're like completely different, like because it's all psycho like games that they play where they make certain BUDS instructors a certain way and then others a different way. Like even in Hell Week, they have different shifts: the Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie shift. And Alpha shift is all like the roided out psychopath BUDS instructors that just beat you all night, and then Bravo shift is like the sarcastic ones that come in and just, which is for me like screaming at me, like doesn't make me more apt to quit or whatever. Like it almost motivates me. But like when you're just like when you're sitting in a chair, with the Bravo guys, and they're just in a chair like this, and they're just like begin. They're
just not impressed.
Just giving exercise after exercise, like looking at you like in disgust, like you're a disgusting human being. Like that to me is more, I don't know, just worse.
Yeah.
And then the Charlie guys were not, I want to say coddling, but they were a little bit nicer than the Bravo guys. But they would all have these personalities, and
this is all like an orchestrated thing.
Oh yeah, okay. From a student's perspective, you think it's chaos. Yeah. But when I was at our assault cell, I went out to the West Coast to coordinate some of the stuff that we were doing on both coasts. And there was a Hell Week going on, and I had a buddy that was a BUDS instructor there, and I went in and looked inside the first phase room and team room and all that stuff, and they had a board with like the amount of time they're keeping them in the surf zone here, and the time, because it's all calculated, and it's a very methodical the way they do it. But from a student's perspective, it's just like chaos. They're just like making you do whatever they feel like, but it is much more calculated. But like on during Hell Week, every night you just lock arms and you'd wave goodbye to the sun, because now the night's coming.
Like literally, you'd actually wave goodbye?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they'd make you wave goodbye to the sun, because now night's coming and the cold's coming, and they're going to keep you out in the surf zone and all that stuff. But that's when Alpha crew would come over. Like Charlie crew would leave, like the nice Charlie crew. And I say nice, but somewhat, okay, like not like total maniacs. Yeah. They leave, and then they just kind of like disappear off and, just fade away. And then Alpha crew would come over the berm with their megaphones and screaming like, we got you all night. It's Alpha's here. And we're like, oh gosh, Alpha crew's here. Like,
are a lot of guys quitting in those moments too? Like,
well, yeah, some guys are like I'm not taking Alpha crew for another night. Like,
yeah.
I read a Navy SEAL book once, and I quit my third chapter. I was like, I can't take this. It's too stressful.
You couldn't even read your way through.
I couldn't even read No, I finished the book, but I was just like, oh my gosh. It's the mental game that's like, especially you were 18. Like I was so stupid at 18, like dumb. And like you throw me into the middle of that. I mean, I'm impressed. I'm impressed that anybody can make it through that. Hey, thanks for watching this clip. If you want to see the full podcast, be sure to click on the link in the description. And if you feel like it, hit subscribe.